Good afternoon, everyone. I'm News 2's Brendan Clark, and all eyes right here in Charleston, South Carolina, as we are just hours away behind me from the Gilliard, the presidential Democratic debate taking place here in Charleston, South Carolina. Of course, we have team coverage of reporters throughout the Low Country, bringing you the latest from all the candidates that try to campaign for your vote before Saturday's big primary here in South Carolina. And as you know, tonight is huge for the Democrats here. 7 of them will take the stage at the Gilliard Center for a debate that will last just over 2 hours. Undecided voters here in the Low Country and throughout the state, and really throughout the country, have a chance to maybe, if they're undecided, get their vote swayed on which Democratic presidential candidate they want as their nominee. Of course, we do have team coverage, and inside the Gilliard behind me is Taylor Murray. She is in the spin room, and she will be all night, throughout the night, covering this debate. We want to go now live to her with the latest from inside the Gilliard.
Good evening, Brendan. You said it. That's right. I'm in the spin room, and this is where the candidates will come after leaving that Gilliard stage. Now, the 2-hour debate kicks off at 8 o'clock, each candidate getting a minute 15 seconds to answer direct questions. Now, from left to right of the stage, this is how the candidates will appear. Former New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg will be far left, followed by former South Bend, Indiana Mayor Pete Buttigieg. Then Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren, and center stage will be Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders and former Vice President Joe Biden. Then towards the right of the stage, Minnesota Senator Amy Klobuchar and businessman Tom Steyer. Now, we're also told that these candidates will not be giving an opening or closing statement. I'll be here all night providing live coverage. And right now, continuing our team coverage, we go over downtown Charleston at that official Democratic watch party. Hannah?
That's right, Taylor, and we actually just moved up onto the roof, and this is where that party is going to be kicking off starting at 8 o'clock tonight. We're expecting a lot of people to be here, excited to hear the candidates speak. Of course, the real test tonight is going to be how are those candidates going to try to relate to Low Country voters, and more than that, specific to the Low Country issues like viable mass transportation, affordable housing, and flooding issues. And right before this, I got to catch up with the South Carolina Democratic Party's executive director on how he feels the candidates will be doing just that.
I think they'll still have a message that will resonate with not only Low Country voters, but all South Carolinians. And I think they will spend some time directing their answers very specifically to South Carolinians, only because they're here and it's so close to the primary.
We will keep checking back in with you as the event space starts to fill up, and especially once that debate starts, which candidates it seems like are appealing to voters. But for now, News 2's Danielle Hensley is live outside the Gilliard Center where protests and rallies are expected to form. Danielle?
That's right, Hannah. There are a few rallies planned tonight, most of them starting around 5 o'clock, one of them being the American Civil Liberties Union. Right now, Emily Walters with ACLU joins me now. Tell me, there are a few main topics that you focus on. What are they?
Yeah, definitely. So our Rights for All program, we focus on criminal justice reform, immigration justice, reproductive freedom, and voting rights for those who have been disenfranchised.
So what is the main message that you are hoping to get across tonight?
Yeah, tonight we just want to have folks keeping civil rights and liberties in mind when they vote in 2020 and holding their candidates accountable to those issues.
That's perfect. Emily, thank you so much. I hope you have a great night.
Thank you.
For now, I'm going to send it back to Brendan, who is also here in downtown Charleston.
All right, thank you, Danielle. Thank you for the coverage. Of course, we will have team coverage throughout the next 2.5 hours, also tonight at 10 and 11 o'clock. Plenty of supporters and protesters throughout South Carolina this week. And earlier today, Democrats for Life of America, as they are called, hosted a rally to urge the presidential candidates to welcome pro-life voters into what they call a big tent approach. This is to defeat what they say President Donald Trump come November in the election. While pro-life views, as we know, typically more associated with Republican candidates, new polls show a third of Democrats identify themselves as pro-life and say they'd be more likely to vote for candidates who would limit abortion to the first 3 months of pregnancy.
100% of the candidates on stage tonight support late-term abortion versus fewer than 1 in 4 South Carolina voters. And 100% of candidates on stage tonight oppose any type of reasonable regulation for health and safety during an abortion. And this is a truly extreme policy embraced by only 13% of South Carolina voters.
The Democrats for Life group, they drew attention last month, if you recall, when Pete Buttigieg was challenged on this issue. Of course, yesterday, a lot of TV time. Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders, former Mayor Pete Buttigieg, who I just mentioned, and Tom Steyer all participated in town halls on the network CNN. Now, tomorrow, they are back at it on these town halls. We have former New York Mayor Michael Bloomberg, former Vice President Joe Biden, Senator Amy Klobuchar, and Senator Elizabeth Warren. They will host their hour-long town halls stacked up back to back. This is all in an effort to swing your vote prior to the primary, which is just 4 days away, coming up this Saturday. To keep up with the town halls, the debates, the rallies that are happening all this week, all you have to do is head to our website, counton2.com, or download the WCBD News 2 app. All the information you have is there. You just go and look under your local election headquarters. You'll find out all the latest information. That is wrapping it up for coverage right now down here outside the Gilliard Center as we continue to cover the Democratic presidential debate happening at 8 o'clock tonight right here at the Gilliard Center behind me. For now, though, other news of the day. We want to check on the weather. We go to Storm Team 2 Chief Meteorologist Rob Fowler for the latest.